What's up, guys? This is James with the Tolerance Break. I'm here with another iteration, week two, 14 days in. Uh, so far, so good, kinda. Not really any physical withdrawals to report. Maybe 4 days in, I was a little bit crankier than normal. But some people at work made me laugh a couple times, lightened my mood, so it was no big deal. I haven't had problems eating. I haven't had problems sleeping. I actually been taking a couple more naps than usual, just because I'm bored out of my fucking mind without smoking, and I'm not much of a drinker. So I'm living life sober for the most part. I probably have some residual THC in my body fat burning once it burns. Um, but other than that, I'm living sober. On my first video, I had a comment asking about what kind of job I have. Well, I currently am a pizza delivery guy, and that was also the job I had when I started smoking weed. I got hired as a pizza delivery guy when I was 20. I hadn't smoked weed or drank or smoked a cigarette or done any pills or anything at that point in my life. I was still fairly indoctrinated into religion up until I was about 18. So I just had started getting out of religion at that point. Not that religious people don't smoke or do drugs or anything. It's just how I was brought up in my religion. So my first job as a pizza delivery guy I got when I was 20. I remember during the interview, the girl was like, "Oh, you can smoke weed here. You could smoke weed and work here. Don't smoke while you're working," which that didn't matter because plenty of people smoke while they're delivering pizzas on a daily basis. I would say. Um, I uh, I thought that was weird that she brought that up in a interview for a job. So I was like, I made a little mental note of that, and I was like in love with the person interviewing me already. She was like the girl in my dreams. She was so cool. But that's not important to this video. So I worked at the pizza delivery place for about 3 years. I was seeing people smoking weed, and they were cool. They weren't bad people. So my perspective was starting to change, and then I met a couple more people from hockey that were smoking. They weren't necessarily playing hockey, but I met them during playing hockey. They were smoking, and I was like, well, this seems to be a positive force in this person's life. In particular, this one person, my friend Wheelies, Wheels. So I was like, I'll do it with him. He got me an edible, and I loved it. It was a mind blowing experience. My universe was vibrating for the first time. I was seeing things in a new light that I had never experienced before because this was the first time I ever done a mind altering drug. Um, so cut to about 2 years later, I had quit the pizza place. I started working at UPS because there was no drug test. Um, Person I got me the job there smoked weed every day before work. He even drank before work, which I've never really condoned. And so I started working at UPS, smoking before work, smoking after work, smoking every day, pretty much. And then after about a year and a half of working at UPS, I decided to stop smoking before work because it was kind of just I wasn't getting anything out of it. I didn't feel elated. I wasn't happy with my high. It was kind of just I got a little high and went into work, and then I was like kind of pissed that I was working while I was high. So I was like, all right, I won't smoke before work. I'll save it for after. And that worked out for me. I ended up hurting myself at UPS uh, while sober. I hadn't smoked directly before work, but I'm sure I smoked that day earlier in the day. I got a big cut in my thumb and pinched this part of my hand in between the two steel things. One of which I was dragging improper form. And they took my supervisor took me to the hospital. They didn't drug test me. They sewed me up, and nothing ever came of that. So UPS has a very lenient drug policy, I would say. Not that that's important unless you're struggling with a drug problem yourself and you need a job. Start at UPS. Maybe it will help you get your life on track. Possibly they got a program to help pay for school. They give you health insurance. You can work all the overtime you want. You can become a driver. UPS is a good job. It's a good job. I worked there for 3 years. Um, and then I thought, hey, it's time for a scenic change. So I moved down to Texas, smoked weed in Texas, got a job at a delivery place, at a pizza delivery place down in Texas. Everybody smoked weed there because that's just how it is in pizza. People smoke weed. In general, there's a lot of stoners at a pizza place. So if you're really in dire need of weed, make a make a personal relationship with your delivery driver, and you might be able to get hooked up. um, but I wouldn't recommend it, considering you never know who you're dealing with. Um, so back to delivering, still smoking. I was doing dabs at that time, smoking a lot of wax. I worked there in Texas for about 6 to 9 months. I'm not sure, and I was like, Texas is all right, but everybody's just wasted there all the time. So I said, fuck Texas. I'll move back to Michigan for now. I moved back to Michigan and stayed with my dad for a month while I was waiting for my apartment to open up in my triplex. And I decided I'd get a job at Costco because I heard Costco had really good uh, work policies, treated their workers well, and all that. So I found out they do a drug test to get in. So I was like, all right, I'll quit smoking weed for a while just to get into Costco. I'm not going to quit. I'm just going to be able to pass the drug test, really pass the drug test, and then I'll have fake pee on me. So I quit, made it like 5, 6 days, smoked once, made it another 5 or 6 days, smoked again, and then I was like, oh, I really need to get this job because I'm running out of the money I had saved up from Texas delivering. And so I started taking the detox stuff. I think I talked about that in the previous video. Got the job at Costco, immediately started smoking again. Uh, they made me a forklift driver. I smoked before work a few times. After I got more comfortable with the job, I wasn't in the first couple months, just because I didn't want to kill anybody. I was going to be operating a forklift. Those are serious business. So after I worked at Costco for about six to 7 months, I was sick of driving. I had to drive about 45 minutes. The winter was bad. There was a lot of accidents on the road. A lot of having to wake up an hour extra early to get to work, and then have to stay late because of winter being more volume at Costco. And I said, fuck Costco. I'm done. Even though it was a wonderful job, just like UPS, it was a good job. They paid good. They treated their employees well. They gave us food every once in a while. The only thing was I worked a little bit more than I liked, and I didn't like driving as much as I was to work and back. So after that, I tried a bunch of different jobs while still smoking. I did a escape room game master job. I did a house inspection job where I was measuring houses and taking pictures of them for insurance company for not quite insurance companies, but for a company that priced out insurances and such like that. And then I started delivering again at a local diner, smoking weed all this time. A lot of weed, probably more weed once I started delivering at the diner again. I started smoking a lot. Probably not more than when I first started, but quite a bit. Uh, I was working with my uncle. He had helped me get the job, and he told me it was a delivery job. And then it ended up being basically just washing dishes and then taking a delivery like every half an hour to an hour. So I got fed up with that. Started working at a pizza place again right around when COVID started, and I've been there ever since. It's been crazy. The money has been crazy because everybody's ordering delivery right now. Every day is a busy day, you know. It's never been I worked at a pizza place for 5 to 6 years before this current place, and there's never been anything comparable to this. Like maybe a Halloween is like comparable to like every Friday or Saturday nowadays. Um, Once again, pretty much everybody that works at a pizza place smokes weed at this place. So that wasn't a problem that I was smoking weed, and not. I mean, even I don't know. I shouldn't even talk about that, but um, yeah. I mean, I've never had a reason to quit based on the jobs I've had besides Costco, and I didn't treat Costco with with the respect they wanted. I should say. Um, and then I'm still delivering pizzas. Uh, and that's where we're at right now. I'm delivering pizzas in Michigan, and I'm making decent money. I wish I was doing something else because I don't really like the idea of thriving upon other people tipping. I wish tipping was kind of abolished, and we could just factor in the tip for the waitress or the delivery driver without having to make people feel obligated to tip. Now, I think that's just a flawed system, but that's not what this video is about either. Uh, so, once again, if you have any questions, I know this is rambles and I can't help it. My mind's scattered. I don't, this is all freestyle off the top of the dome, you know. That's just the way I do. But if you have any questions, once again, I have no shame in anything. So, whatever you ask me is fine. I'm probably not gonna just bring information out forthwith if it's something that people don't normally want to hear about, like masturbation or sex life. Like people don't want to hear about that on in general, unless they're looking for that. And this is not the channel for it. Um, but if that becomes a topic for one of the videos, then that's a topic for one of the videos. But there's gonna have to be a lot of people commenting about that. You know, that's in the future. So thanks for tuning in again, or for the first time, and I'll see you next time.